Hello everyone and welcome back to Mahjong Soul. I'm recording this video from the depths of hell. I don't know if you're seeing this, but yesterday I played 4 games of Mahjong just chasing losses. You know what I mean? Like this first 4th place round psychologically destroyed me, and then I was like, surely that can't happen again. Bam, it happened again. And then I was slowly managed to climb my way out, but you'll notice our elo has gone down a lot. So today I'm just gonna try to recenter myself, okay? I'm gonna remind myself that we don't need to get first, we just need to not get last. And it's okay to play a little bit more defensive, because I think yesterday I was like doing things that were very, very out of character, like chasing hands that really didn't have that much value. Also, I'm gonna implement big stretch meta. Oh, big stretch during the loading screen. If you're also new to Mahjong Soul, I have a guide on how to play, or Riichi Mahjong in general. I have a guide how to play that's linked in the description if you want to learn from one of the from one of the best. Just ignore my recent match history and my overall elo. All right, yeah. So I think yesterday kind of opened my eyes, right? Because I was like, well, a lot of players here are calling Riichi after someone else calls Riichi. Like they're chasing someone's Riichi, which is really, really aggressive, right? Oh man, we had a great hand. I wish they kept their hand. This hand is okay. It's a little bit worse, but that's fine. Anyway, so I was like, wow, these players are playing really aggressive. Surely they're doing something right? And then I started to try to play like really aggressive, and I was like, oh, dude, this is wrong. This is like so wrong. Because I think it just spiraled me into a lot of losses. I think overall, I'm a pretty defensive player. Now, if you look up defensive player in the Merriam-Webster dictionary, you might also see under the related words, the word coward, which, sure, there's an argument to be made for that. And I think too there's a case to be made where, like, the day that I learn to do measured aggression in Mahjong is the day that everyone else stops winning. It's the day that I take over the Mahjong servers, you know what I mean? And I'm very, very excited for that. So what is the deal with this hand? Well, we're 1 tile away from being able to call Riichi. Of course, we'd want a 2 or a 7 of bamboo, and we would have to discard this 4. If that's the case, right? If that's the case, we should probably discard this 4 a little earlier. But I'm also like, what if we... Yeah, we should discard this 4 a little earlier. What's the best case scenario? We draw like a 5, and then we discard the 8. If that's the case, it still doesn't change anything. Like, this 5 still needs to be our pair after all. I mean, there's also a world where we tore this up, but this at least still leaves us in the 1 away position. I was also reading my Mahjong text, the Phantom Nobiton, last night, because I was so tilted. I was like, I need to read a little bit about Mahjong to, like, ground me, to make me feel like I'm still improving as a player, as a human. Probably not super healthy to place a lot of your self-worth in your Mahjong elo. So we gotta abandon ship here, unfortunately. So I guess maybe that's one of the cases where it would have been good to keep the 4, because just kidding, never punished. Actually never punished. Because they called the pawn on the 2 of bamboo, and it killed our 1-3 sequence. Now, there's still the chance that we could draw the 2 of bamboo, but it's so super unlikely. There's also how many 7s have been discarded? There have been 2 7s that have been discarded. I would love to cheat this, but I can't. I could call Riichi on this, and it might be... I'm okay with calling Riichi here. It's early enough. No one else has called Riichi. Everyone else seems to still be discarding like relative garbage, which I'm pretty okay with. The player across from me is going for an all simples hand, most likely. Oh, they're really pushing, because a con really helps the player in Riichi, right? Because now I get to flip over a 2nd or a Dora, and they discarded a 4, which is a very aggressive discard. So hopefully we don't deal into them. Now, another thing that we have to watch out for is that the initial Dora, the 7 of characters, no one's played a single one of them yet. So they could just be like a triplet of those could be sitting in someone's hand. So maybe in that sense, we didn't want to call Ricci. The reason that I did keep in mind was because 2/7 of Bamboo have already been discarded, which might trick other players into thinking that it's safe. This is also great because a 4 means that the 7 is now Suji to that 4, and so people might really think it's safe. But that's just luck, right? I mean, granted, we would have discarded one anyway, but you can't really control that. This is just an okay hand. If there's no 5s left, are there? Okay, there's no 9s left, but there is a 5 left. If we draw a 5 of circles, we could con the 5 of circles and then go for a after a con Rinshen Kaiho Yaku, which would be really cool. That's probably the most anime way to win Mahjong. If you get the after the con Yaku, you've graduated. You've literally ascended into anime-dom. And I salute you for that, if I'm gonna be honest with you. So they called Ricci with 10 tiles left. Either they have some amazing weights, or I'm actually not super sure. Okay, White Dragon was actually really safe. I just I guess I wasn't paying too much attention when these were being discarded. Okay, some Dora is coming out of 5 of characters. Okay. Oh man. Extremely lucky. I can't even tell you how lucky we were that red 5 did not spell our death. Two 7 of characters sitting in their hand, 1 7 of characters sitting in the other person's hand. So what do we want to necessarily learn from that? I'm not sure, which is hilarious, right? Like I'm genuinely not sure. 1 shape, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 1 too many shapes. So we can discard this, right? Let's count. 1 sequence, 2, 3, 4, and then our pair. But I don't necessarily want to tear this up to have a pair. We can also, if you're noticing, we can go for a 7, 8, 9 mixed triple sequence. I don't think we'd chi yet because I've gotten also really aggressive with my calls lately. Like, hey, you up, etc., etc. That's also really risky, man. Because I know we could start chiing this and going for the 7, 8, 9, but it hasn't been working out for me. I don't know what to tell you. It just legitimately has not been working out for me. Okay, let's pivot this into a normal-ish hand, where this can be our pair. This can be just a triplet, I guess. We could even start going for something like all simps if we get some good draws. That's still definitely a ways away. But yeah, it's actually like really debatable, right? Whether or not calling this would have been the right move. We are the dealer. It could be argued that because we want to keep our dealer's seat, we should have gone for something a little bit more aggressive. 6, 8 is fine. Dude, I don't want this 5, but it still seems better than our 8, 9. I know how nuts that sounds. So there's also 1, 3 of characters that's been, oh my god. Cut the video right now. It's fine. We still have our 6, 8, but I meant to discard this too. Oh god. Okay. If you're I didn't know you could upload YouTube videos from the Shadow Realm, dude. I didn't know you could upload YouTube videos from literal hell, dude. It feels so bad. Oh. Nice, right? Okay, nice. We drew a 4, 5. So this just pivots into an all simples hand. Although, like, we have to be careful here because the player across from us is doing something tricky because they called pawn on the Northwind, but okay, that kind of crushes our dreams here. They called pawn on the Northwind, but they don't really have like a Yaku still, right? Okay, I would just like a turn to play the game. It's okay if not, but I would just like to try to play the game. Here's the thing. This 8 and this 9 should theoretically be pretty safe to discard. I don't want to push for this hand, dude. I know it's got 2 Dora in it. This is also not safe, dude. You're gonna hate this. I can read the message boards already. Oh, why did he fold on that hand? He's such a coward. You frickin' betcha. I don't know what the player across from me is doing, but I'm having none of it. Oh my god. They're discarding a Dora tile. This player must have been going for like a half flush, all triplets. Oh my god. Calling Khan and giving someone else a Baimon for Dora. Oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh man, if that, I mean, oh man, that's so brutal. That's so unbelievably brutal. This is a great hand. It's a very valuable hand, but it's still actually a long ways away from winning. And we have 2 Dora, and not only that, one of them is the red 5. Something that I've also seen a lot in my recent Mahjong Soul play is that like people rage quit all the time. And again, if I can impart to you anything, it's do not rage quit. Because in one of those 4th place finishes, someone rage quit and I still ended up in 4th. Just to show you that like I don't know, maybe it's a good defensive strategy. Like if I don't know what I'm doing, how can anyone else know what I'm doing, right? However, don't give up, because someone else could also get owned way more than you, you know? You don't even have to mount a great comeback. You can just hope that someone else like trips and falls, you know? We could chi this, but I don't necessarily want to. I don't know. I feel like, I mean, what's the difference, right? Like 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we definitely call pawn on this, and now we start going off, right? Unfortunately, going off means still hoping for something around this 5 or this 8 or this 2 to come to fruition. I think most likely because no one's going to want to discard a 5 that's also the Dora. This is probably going to end up being our pair. So this doesn't look that bad. It's a 2-4 it's a 2-4-6 shape and a 6-8 shape, or we can or we could do 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, etc., etc. So this doesn't look terrible, although again we'd really like something to help us out here. The player to our left is discarding some incredible tiles. I don't really know what they're... Okay. Yeah, I know. We have a really valuable hand here, but I don't think that we push for it. I'm not sure. This is a little risky, right? Because that 7 discard, like what could that mean? They could have had a 7, 7, 9. And that way I would deal into them. They could have had a 6, 7, 7, which is more likely, right? And I don't necessarily want to deal into that. Nice draw. Okay, I'm gonna discard the 2 first because it's Suji to that 5. We can also maybe play a little bit more aggressive here, because I'm now realizing that we have 2 of the Dora. So, and they've discarded a 7 and a 6. So we're probably not gonna get surprised by... We're not conning this. Are you kidding me? No. If we were 1 tile away from winning or something, maybe I would con this, but you just saw the damage that a con can do, right? The player across from us called con and then gave the player to our left 3 Dora. Okay, that's really dangerous, right? Because you played a tile that was adjacent to the tile they called Ricci with. So they called Ricci with the 3 of bamboo. Let's examine what that means. It means they had a 2-3-3 shape, and then they took that apart, called Ricci with the 3, and then they were waiting on the 1-4, right? So that's why you want to be really careful when playing a tile that's adjacent to the tile that someone else called Ricci with. Now this is an excellent hand. 1 sequence, 2, 3. We need another shape, unfortunately. And this Dora is unfortunately like we need something surrounding it. So what can we think of this as? We can think of this as a 4-5. Okay, I mean, that's something. We can also pivot this into an all simples hand, honestly, and it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. They just called Ricci. Interesting. So that's the player in 4th place. I'm okay bailing on this one. I was also reading something that was like, I know we could have played this 2 of circles here. But they were like, because you're afraid of Ipatsu, right? Ipatsu is when you deal into someone else's Ricci, like the first go around after they call Ricci. And it gives them an extra Yaku, right? It could give them anywhere between like an extra 1,000 to an extra like 4,000 or like 2,000, depending on whether or not they're the dealer. Okay, so they sumoed. There's nothing that we could have done there. They had 2 Dora and an Oradora. They're back in the game. Holy moly, with a Hanuman. So tell me we're not in last place. Okay. Sometimes we just get like ambiently sucked down into 4th place, and I don't know what to do if that's the situation. We're still ahead from the person to our right. Oh, we have 2 Dora in this hand too. Oh my god. And a pair of the green dragons. Holy moly. So if that's the case, then do we push for something greedy, or do we break up one of these 7s? No way we break up one of these 7s, right? Okay, we can discard this for now. There's also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have all the shapes that we theoretically need. So we could get rid of this 4. But if this is gonna be our pair, then that's really tough. Okay, that's a great draw. The 4 is gonna be more dangerous for us in the long term, so let's discard that. Yeah, this is gonna be tough, right? First of all, it would be great if, like, order of operations wise, someone would drop a green dragon. I'm gonna discard this because I don't want to break it up later, and we have a 1, 3, 5 shape now. And a 5, 7, 9 shape. It's not terrible. So the 7 is most likely going to end up being our pair. Okay. The player to our left is definitely doing something tricky. Also, everyone's doing something tricky. Everyone's just discarding character tiles. I don't really know what that means. No one has any use for any character tiles, myself included, apparently. That's really strange. That's really, really strange. Also, not a lot of circle tiles or bamboo tiles have been discarded. So what can we do here? I am fine discarding a 9 because an 8 already has been discarded. So the chances that we complete the 7, 8, 9 are marginally smaller. It's not great or whatever, but it's something. So this 3 of bamboo, again, if someone calls this, it gives us a lot of information. Like, the person to our left is probably going for a half flush or a full flush in the circle suit. They haven't discarded a single circle tile yet. Granted, the tiles that they've discarded in the other suits have been like Garbo tiles, right? It's not the most transparent thing in the world, but I don't know. It's still telling. The player to our right, meanwhile, has not discarded a single bamboo tile. We are this is a very Ralph Wiggum meme. Haha, I'm in danger. But actually, again, we would love to cheese something here so that we can get into 10 pi. We can even call a pair of the if someone discards the Dora tile, we can call pawn on it and just discard this and wait for a 2 of circles. Granted, there's already 1 2 of circles that's been discarded. I wonder too. Yeah, I mean, this is a really interesting situation. 6 of bamboo has come out, so they are definitely pushing for. Oh, we could Ricci here. We don't need to though. We don't need to. This is already such a valuable hand that I don't want anyone playing defensively. I want everyone playing as offensively as possible, so they run the risk of dropping a 2 of circles into my like monstrous hand. Let's just be completely clear. I would love to win this one, but I'm gonna tell you something right now. Don't get your hopes up. Now we went off of a 2 or a 5. That's kind of nutty. No. Ah! Okay. Luckily, they only had. This is like a baby hand, but I don't regret my decision making at all. I was like, the worst case is that they're going for a half flush, and they've discarded a 2 of bamboo prior to that. So it wasn't the worst thing in the world. I know it's painful. Like I know we're in 4th place right now. Oh god. I'm laughing. It is genuinely painful. I don't want to end up in 4th over and over. It's not fun to lose constantly. I don't know if I needed to tell you that. 1 shape, 2, 3, 4. Okay, fine. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the 5th one is always going to be your pair. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. If we get like some incredible draws, we should have discarded this a little sooner, I think. Although I don't know. Like, if we were to draw a 5 or a 7, I'd probably break up this 3-1 in favor of this 6-7 or 5-6 shape. This is fine. It's a little weird, right? Because we got a triplet of the west wind, but we're not sitting on the west seat, nor are we ever in the west round. So okay, that's fine. I know that this could be seen as like a failure, like, oh no, my intuition's completely wrong. It's okay. I was reading this in the Mahjong book last night. Like, this stuff just kind of happens, and so like you can't really beat yourself up for it. Okay, These are also pretty bad draws. But the good, let's look on the bright side, right? The bright side is that if we have to fold, we fold. We have a triplet of the West Winds, right? And that's super, super safe. Okay, so we can discard this now. Weirdly, we're one away from 10 pi, which is really, really nice. We can finish this hand with, or we can get into Ricci with a 4 or a 7 of bamboo, a 3 or a 6 of characters, or even a 4 of characters. So we have a lot of ways of entering 10 pi, which is really, really nice. Now, do I want to call Ricci with this hand? I mean, what's going on? Is there anyone that's being suspicious? Yeah, the player across from me is being really suspicious, actually. I'm pretty sure they're going for some kind of flush with the circle suit. Uh-oh. I don't really want to discard this, although it is safe. This is fine. This is the more dangerous tile, and if we need to discard a 5 later, that's also okay. This is fine, I think, because now we can still complete this with a 3, a 6, a 4, or a 7, or a 5 of bamboo, even though the 5 option is really, really unlikely. Do I go for a flush here? I don't think I do. I don't think I do, because tearing this up would mean, I mean, if we drew a 4, would we be 1 away? No, I think we'd be 2 away. So I don't know. It would have slowed down our hand dramatically if we had gone for some kind of flush. Unfortunately, the tiles that we're discarding are really, really good tiles. There's the Ricci. Yeah, okay, this is now full, like, this hand is not valuable. The only Yaku we had in this hand was the Yaku that would be inherently given to us if we called Ricci, right? So that's not really, that doesn't bode particularly well. We can tear up some of these West Winds. 4 isn't necessarily safe. This 2 is definitely safe. I cannot believe that this player pushed immediately after they called Ricci. They're playing with reckless abandon right now. Because although the 7 is Suji to this 4, again, which means that they can't have a 5-6 weight, it's still really reckless because you never know. They could have a terrible 8-9 weight, right? And again, you would never know. We could chi that, not really in the mood, kind of just looking to get the hell out of town here with unscathed. I know, we still might end up in 4th place here. But if anything, it's going to be a return to form, aka a return to cowardice. I'm not even joking. Look at how serious I am. Because I don't think we should try to be someone that we're not, right? And I think we were doing really, really well playing like a coward, playing like a GD coward. This is really dangerous. I know that the player to our right didn't win, but it was still adjacent. It was a fully outside hand. Damn. Okay. The players in 1st and 2nd are exchanging blows. Me and the player in 3rd place are now really, really close to one another because, again, they spent 1,000 of their points calling Ricci, right? Okay, this hand is hot garbage. It's okay. It's not terrible. But 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we still need something here. Also, keeping this entire clunky 2, 4, 5, 7 shape is not inspire a lot of joy. I know the 1, 2, 2, 3 shape is a little bloated right now, but I don't know. I don't think it's terrible to just keep this for a while, because if we draw another 3, it opens us up to a pure double sequence, or even just like a 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4 sequence, which would be really nice. Okay, this is starting to get a little bit better. Like, if push comes to shove, I was gonna say we could have used the 2 or the 4 as our pair. What do we want to do here? I mean, there's also a world where we discard the 1 and go for an all simples hand, right? Unfortunately, the 8 would have been nice with that 7. Maybe that was a sign that we could have discarded this 2 a little bit earlier. Let's count our shapes again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's actually pretty good. Okay, we can discard this. This 5, 6, 6 is actually probably going to be the most dangerous to break up. With this 1 here, we can go for a 1, 2, 3 shape instead of awkwardly creating 2, 3, 4 sequences, which would be harder to do. One of them's also been discarded already, which isn't great news for us. Is there anything suspicious going on? No, everyone's pretty much been discarding Garbo. The player who's discarded the best tiles is the player across from us. There's that 3, which makes me think that maybe we should have kept that 2. I mean, that's pretty painful, but I also think that maybe this is one of those decisions that you don't necessarily want to dwell on. I'm not positive. I'm not positive. There's a 3, but unfortunately, if we took that, we would have no Yaku, right? Because right now, the only thing that we have going for us is that we have a closed hand, and we might be able to get into Riichi Pinfu, which would be nice. Maybe, too, if we wanted to keep Pinfu alive, we would discard this 6 a little bit earlier. Okay, interesting. This south is a safe tile, but again, there could also be the argument made. Tell me you've watched too much politics YouTube without telling me you've watched too much politics YouTube lately. There could be an argument made that you want to keep some of these safer tiles for later discards. Again, if we draw a 4, oh, it's getting scary. They just discarded a 5. I don't know, dude. This seems bad now. I know we're the dealer, so that we might. Yeah, it seems bad. It seems bad. Okay, we might want to do a little bit of folding here. Like we're a college student behind on their laundry. Just a teensy bit of folding, just as a treat. Okay, and we can still pivot this hand into somewhat of a winning shape. Wow. We can also go for yeah, this should be fine. It's Suji to that 5. I know that Suji is not like a defense against everything. We can even pivot this into a 7 pairs hand, or just like a winning hand is the thing. Unfortunately, like what do we do here? If we draw a 3 or a 6, we could enter we could go into Riichi here, but unfortunately, calling Riichi would mean discarding this 4. Now a lot of 3s have been discarded, right? Yeah, all 3s are gone. So it'd be weird to make like a 3-4-5 shape. It'd be very, very hard. A 4-5-6 though is definitely very possible. So the 5s are coming out, which is interesting. And pawn this. Why? We have no Yaku. I totally understand. However, okay, that's okay. There's nothing we really could have done to defend against that. I mean, if we hadn't pawned, we would have drawn a different tile. But again, that's like occult Mahjong. Okay, we're not here to play occult Mahjong. Okay, this is okay. 11934. Okay, this is okay. 1 shape, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe we would have to extend this 6, 7, 8, 9 into 2 things. It's not looking super great. Although that helps a lot. Now we can finish this with the 6, 7, 8, 7, 8, 9, which is cool. What else can we do? A 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's not bad. We're 1 tile away from being able to call Riichi, and I think we absolutely slammed the Riichi button. Also, I'll just say, you know, slam that like and subscribe button if you're enjoying the content. This is a great Riichi call because I know we only have one of characters left, but with such limited information, you have to assume that the 1 is safe to discard. And also, the other tile that we're waiting on is the 9 of circles, which again is really inconspicuous, right? It's a terminal tile. Surely he can't be waiting on that. Oh ho ho. Au contraire. What are we hoping for here? We're still far away from winning, which is a real bummer, but it's okay. I think I haven't done anything. I don't think I've done anything too regrettable. I don't know. If you're like a master level player and you're watching this, please feel free to tell me in the comments below if I've done something regrettable. I also don't think I've entered goblin mode at all. Okay, I don't think I've entered goblin mode at all this game, and I think that takes a lot of restraint. We get 1 Oradora. That's nice. That's all you can really hope for, right? Okay, nice. Now we're 1,000 points away from getting to 3rd place. Nice. Again, all we want to do, it will be a huge victory if we can just get into a 3rd. It will be a miracle if we can get into 4th. What do we want to do here? Half outside hand would be incredible. I mean, it's looking okay. We have a triplet of the Southwind. If someone else discards one, we don't call con. Why don't we call con? It's because this hand is so far away from winning. It's like a Carole King song, okay? And we could boost someone else's hand value dramatically, which is not what we want to do. However, what we do want to do is just finish this hand as quickly as possible. And unfortunately, the shapes that we have aren't amazing. They're just okay. So what do we have? We have 1 triplet, 1 thing, and 1 thing. Yeah, we're still 2 entire shapes away from being able to make a winning hand. I'll chi this. It's fine. It's totally fine. I mean, there's also the argument to be made, Yusung's favorite phrase of the day, that you shouldn't chi this just in case you need to fold later on. Like if someone were to call Ricci now, it'd kind of be a nightmare for me because we would have a restricted hand, right? We wouldn't be able to safely fold besides these south winds, and even again because these 1 2 3s are already locked in, so it's not great. It's not great. Player across from us has pawned the man, I can't believe this. Am I really going for it? I guess I am. Okay, this is a really strange situation where I'm really gunning for a half outside hand. It's not going to be a full outside hand because we got these south winds, but the south winds are also the round seat, so I'm pretty sure this is okay. It's not terrible. Not only that, we have so many terminal tiles that I'm like, dude, if someone else calls Ricci now, it's also not the end of the world because we can pretty safely fold. Again, because we have a lot of 9s and also the south winds, right? So this is looking okay. The weird thing in our hand is this 1 and this errant 3 laying around. I mean, that's something. It's definitely something. Okay. We can even call a chi on a 7 8 9 and then wait for a 9 of circles or a 9 of bamboo. Also, if someone drops a 9 of bamboo now, instead of conning it, I think we'd pawn it because then we discard this 1 and we wait on the 7 of bamboo to win, right? This is a really nice half outside hand. I don't think anyone is even that suspicious too, because I've just discarded garbage. For all anyone else knows, I've literally just discarded garbage. Okay, this might be starting to get a little suspicious. The player across from me, you'll notice, has not discarded garbage. They are most likely, like worst case scenario, going for some kind of flush in the bamboo suit, right? Or even the circle suit. I'm not really sure. But again, they haven't discarded a single bamboo tile, right? It's kind of tricky. A lot of 6s have been discarded, so I felt relatively safe discarding the 7. Again, I want to keep the option open. Wow, they're really pushing for a half flush of some kind. They discarded the door, which was also a 5 of circles. So why am I keeping this 1 around? Well, if we draw a 2, we can discard this and then wait on the 3 of characters to win. Again, I'm not sure what's more dangerous at this point. The 8 of bamboo is not necessarily a safe tile, even though it's come down. Wow, dropping a 5 of bamboo. I thought it was definitely going to help this player out. It did not. I'm so curious to see what's in this player's hand, but we also can't dwell on that because I also very much want to win. We win off of a 9 of circles or a 9 of bamboo. Unfortunately, there's only 1 left of either. It's not great optically. And also if we draw anything, oh god. We can still win off of an 8 of circles here. And we know that this 9 is going to be a safe discard. This is the best of both worlds, okay? This is the best of both worlds. Oh my god, what a terrifying situation. Oh god. Yeah, okay. We pivot once again. Because I don't want to discard the 5, man. I don't want to discard the Dora. It's too scary. It's too scary. We lose this idea of getting a half outside hand, but in exchange we pick up a Dora tile, which I don't know. Can I view the Yaku right now? What's half outside hand? Half outside hand is just half outside hand is just 1 Han after we made a call. So that's only like 1,000 points, and we make that up with just 1 draw of the Dora tile. So it's not terrible. Unfortunately, if we don't have a lot of safe tiles left. They sumoed. I'm curious what they had. Okay, it wasn't a flush at all. It was just a pretty like average hand. Okay, interesting. Again, we're 1,000 points away from second place or third place, and we really want to finish in third. Luckily, I mean, this gives us more time to play, right? I didn't realize this, but the player across from us is currently the dealer, so we get to do another round of the South 3 round. Okay. 1 shape, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, nice. So we have all the shapes that we need. Unfortunately, 4 is going to be a little awkward to get rid of. Okay, that's interesting. Now this 1 or this 7 can be our pair. They pawned the 9 of characters. Interesting. Maybe it's now their turn to go for a half outside hand. I don't think they're going for a flush or something, but it's also suspicious. Like, The fact that they could also just have a Yaku waiting, right? I wouldn't be surprised at all if they called pawn on the green dragon. So what do we do here? We discard this 4, even though it's a little dangerous, and we try to get into a Ricci Pinfu situation. So how do we do that? How do we guarantee Pinfu? We can't guarantee Pinfu because there's also a situation where we complete this 7, 8, 9, and then we're just waiting on this 3 blank 5 shape, which is not two-sided. So something to be said about keeping that 4, right? Something to be said. Even though we didn't have anything adjacent to it, we could have drawn something that was adjacent to it. Okay, we're 1 away from being able to declare Ricci, which I think we should absolutely do in this situation. Still early on in the game. If we draw, we need a 4 of characters or a 4 or 7 of bamboo in order to get into Ricci. There's that east wind call. So they were sitting on a pair of the east winds and they preemptively called the 9 of characters. Damn, they're going off right now. What do we even do here? I think this 3 is probably safer than the 8. I'm not sure. What's the worst case? They're going for some kind of all triplets. In that case, the 8 is a little less likely, right? Do we still call Ricci in this situation? I'm not sure. They're discarding some great tiles. Oh, okay. I don't think that would have necessarily helped us, but still interesting to see. They've also discarded a 4 of characters, which might mean that other players might be more readily wanting to discard that. I don't know. If we draw a 4 of characters, I think I could be persuaded into going into Ricci. If we draw a 4 or 7 of bamboo, I'm not so sure. Because then we're only sitting on a single tile wait, and it's not that great either. Wow, okay, nice. This is why you stay in the game, even when you're not winning, right? They did have an all triplets hand. That's wow. All triplets for a dealer Mongon. And now the player in third is now deeply in the shadow realm. I know I'm covering them up right now, but they have 4,900. So nice. We've solidified our position. What do we want to do here? This hand is ass, okay? Pardon the language. Oh boy, this is going to be a tough hand to win. We just have too much garbage weighing us down. Another 5 of characters draw is interesting, right? So the door tile just got dropped. We could keep this as like a last bastion of hope that we could get into second place. But also I'm like, if we have the chance to bail, shouldn't we just bail now? Shouldn't we make like an American Psycho and Christian Bale? That's a new one. I think that you could tell that yesterday was like a bad mental health day for me because I was watching American Psycho clips on YouTube. I've never seen American Psycho. I know it's got some like pretty messed up imagery in it, but I was watching the business card scene and I was like, this is pretty funny. And then I started watching more of it. And then by the end of the night, I promise you, my YouTube home screen was just literally all American Psycho clips. Hey, you want to know who I think the real American Psychos are? Just take a look at Congress. I don't know if you've ever seen this because this is a YouTube video, but I have a close-up. So I'll give you that one again. I'll give you that joke again. If you want to take a look at the real American Psychos, just look at Congress. Okay, nice. 1 shape, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I don't think we need this 9, dude. I don't think we need this 9, 8. Not only that, like this is an all simples hand, right? Yeah, if we really wanted to, we could just start calling pawn and stuff, but I don't think we necessarily need to. Okay, there's another 9, which is a little bit awkward. Awkward like we're chatting with strangers on Club Penguin in high school. I am to Penguin of Doom, XD, RAR, etc. Okay, interesting hand. Suddenly, we have a lot of options, right? We can start calling pawn. We can start calling chi. Keep in mind that we do need to call. We do need to keep something as our pair later on, and unfortunately, this 5 is getting a little spicy to keep around. But also, there's a chance that someone else drops a 5, or that we just draw one. I mean, this is. We could have gone for like a Yakuman for 3 concealed triplets. We don't do that here, okay? I know we totally could have, but we do not do that here. We play consistently. I don't want to go for a Yakuman and accidentally deal into someone else's Mongon, you know what I mean? What do we do here? 1 is strangely more dangerous than the 9, so I guess we want to get rid of that sooner rather than later. What sends us over the brink into Tenpai? It's drawing a 4 of bamboo a 5 of characters or a 4 of characters. Okay, that's interesting. And keep in mind that we could also call pawn on this, right? And then be one away from winning. The player across from us is going for something tricky because they probably have like a, if I had to guess, they have a mixed triple sequence in all 3 suits. So that's 1, 2, 3 in every single suit. Although like you're looking at this and you're like, there's 3 1 of characters that have been discarded. The reason that I'm calling pawn on that is because the 4 is a relatively safe discard. And now we actually I didn't even realize this, but we have 3 outs. The 3 of characters, the 4 of characters, and the 6 of characters. So this is a pretty good hand. This is a pretty good position to be in. Keep in mind, this is just an all simples hand with a red 5. So if we need to bail, if we draw something that's way too dangerous, we can still bail here. Always know where the closest emergency exit is. Keep in mind that the closest emergency exit might be behind you. You know what I mean? Turns out those airplane safety videos weren't just for your enjoyment. Wow! Last tile. That's under the sea, right? Yeah. Oh my god. And check that out. It was a mixed triple sequence and a half outside hand. Damn. That's a really powerful hand. So I don't think we'll get into second place here. But again, I mean, the dealer won, so we have time. We have time, right? We could draw like a really powerful hand or something. This isn't this is not that really powerful hand, but it's okay. If we get the red dragon triplet, we can start calling chi, which might make filling in these cracks a little bit easier. The player across from us is just going on a tear right now. What's the door? It's the south wind. Okay, that's pretty spicy, right? That's pretty spicy because everyone's going to be wanting the south wind in this round. So we have to be a little bit more careful here. If they start coming out of people's hands, then we can play a little bit more reckless. But until then, like this is a very spicy meatball. Again, a lot of the Mahjong texts that I've read, there's even chapters that are like what to do when you encounter a spicy meatball situation. And I'm like, this is great intel. If you don't believe me, you got to join the Discord and look them up for yourself. Interesting. Okay. I mean, this is a little risky because the player across from us is just like, again, going on a tear. There's nothing we can really do. We have 2 simple Yaku here. Uh-oh. I don't like this at all. Okay, that's fine. What's the worst case scenario? Some kind of flush or some kind of like outside hand? I don't think so. I think they're just going for oh, that's a great draw. Like just a completed hand. They might only have the green dragon as their Yaku. So the player to my right, do we want to push for this? They discarded a south wind, which is the Dora. So even if we deal in, they can't have that scary of a hand, right? Okay, this isn't terrible. This isn't terrible. Wow, they discarded our red 5. Okay, I think I can discard this too. This 3 is actually really, really sus to discard. I'm not sure that I can discard this. Yeah, unfortunately, drawing the 3 is kind of like a death sentence there. Unless someone else discards a 6, then I can be a little bit more confident. But for now, it's staying in my hand. If they don't win this hand, it's also devastating for them because then they're just left with like 1,000 points left. 1,700 points left because they've also lost their Ricci wager, you know? Player across from me is probably contemplating whether or not to push. The 2 was not necessarily safe there, but it was Suji to that 5, right? Okay, this 2 is safe to discard. The 6 and the 7 is not. I think the 7 is, but ooh. If we have to break something else up, what do we do here? Oh man, we could push for the win here. I can't, dude. I absolutely can't. I know how much that hurts. I don't know. I was contemplating too, like how many 1s and 3s have been discarded, or 1s and 2s, right? 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. So they couldn't have been waiting on a 1, 2, 3. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. I think it's okay to bail here because like I just don't want to deal it. They're in 4th place and I'm in 3rd place, and I would like to, strangely enough, protect my 3rd place finish, right? I want to see. Come on. Like because I know a lot of 1s and 2s have been discarded, and a few 4s have been discarded, but what if they had a 4-5, like a 4-4-5 shape? Would that have been possible? That would have been possible, but I guess now it's no longer possible. No, it's still possible. It's still possible. Okay. The 3 is safe to discard. Oh my. Okay. Painful. Pain. Pekko. Okay. They just got sucked deep into the Shadow Realm. All right. I mean, that's a good game. They definitely just lost there. Under the river. This player has had some just bananas luck. There's nothing you can really do against that. There's nothing you can really do. Okay, we finished in 3rd. This was just an okay game. This is just an okay game. But I was really happy because we got a lot of really successful reads, right? I'll also show you this. Hang on. This is where we're currently at. It's 968. Now keep in mind that when you get into Expert 3, or when you promote at all between the ranks, you start at halfway. So we started at 1,000. We're lower than when we started, but that's okay. Let's just do a little quick, a little cute post-game analysis, just to see if I mean, here's the thing, like a lot of what we were calling was correct, right? Like, oh, they were going for like a flush or like a mixed triple sequence or something along those lines, you know? So I was pretty confident about some of those reads because they ended up being correct. I'll also say now, like if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like and a comment. The comments really do help for whatever reason. And new videos Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. We also stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 4 p.m. PST on Twitch. Okay, but if you're sticking around, here we freaking go. All right. This round didn't really count for anything. So what happened in this game? This was an exhaustive draw. Was there anyone sitting on anything really suspicious? Let's just start at the. Okay, this is insulting. I gotta get better at navigating the UI. So let's just take a look, right? 246. I'm gonna hide myself so that you can see everything a little bit more clearly. 246, 346, 945. Nothing super scary there. 1479, 1367. I mean, they've got some okay shapes. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 1. Okay. This is just an okay game. Now, when do spicy tiles start coming out? Because right now it's fine. They tore up their 1-2 shape. Interesting. I wonder why they didn't discard their 9, right? Because it's really redundant with their 6, 7. I don't know. I would have definitely discarded the 9 instead of tearing up the 1-2. There's also, they tore up the 1-3. Wow, they're really pushing for a 7, 8, 9 mixed triple sequence. That's pretty nuts. I mean, they got it too. Oh my god. At least in one suit. So this player's started discarding some good stuff. No one's in Tenpai yet. Okay, that's interesting. Still no one's in Tenpai yet. They pivoted their weight. I'm keeping my eyes on that player because they kind of popped off. So now someone is in Tenpai. Who is in Tenpai? Is it me? Oh my god, I'm in Tenpai. I called Ricci. Right. Okay, and now other people are in Tenpai. Yeah, the player across from me is sitting on an all simples hand. Now, I can't believe that they pushed for this. I mean, I guess they have 2 door, right? So what did they do after I called Ricci? I called Ricci. I want to see what they discarded. In their situation, what did they discard? They discarded this 2, right? Because I've discarded a 1 and a 3, so it's they conned. Oh my god, because they're 1 tile away from winning? They're not even 1 tile away from winning, dude. And this 4, you have no idea if that's safe or not. But I suppose with 2 door in your hand, you have to push for it. So they discarded a 4 of characters. That is obscenely unsafe. That is extremely unsafe. Why wouldn't you discard the 4 of characters there? Oh, I suppose, I'm not sure. I cannot believe that worked out for them. Oh my god. They drew a 4 of circles. Okay, the 4 of circles was safe for me to discard. The player to my right is folding, or to my left is folding. 4 of circles, okay. Now they drew what they needed, and they discarded a 4 of characters. 4 of bamboo. We could have, I mean, if we just had a different weight. Imagine if this was a 5-6 shape instead of a 6-8 shape. Why did that work out for them? I suppose that's just luck, right? There's no like analyzing it if they just drew the exact tiles that they needed. And also they have an all simples 2 door, a 3 door hand. So that's four 4 Yaku, I'm pretty sure that's a 4,000 point hand. That's worth fighting for, I suppose. If they were the dealer, it would have been an 8,000 point hand, right? Or maybe I'm calculating it wrong. But anyway, the scoring is really confusing. Okay, 6, 7, 8, 7, 7, 1, 3, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this person does not have a finishing hand. 2, 4, 5, 6, 6. Yeah, okay, they're folding. They're absolutely folding. Yep, these are the makings of a broken hand. 3, 3. Oh, they ended up in Tenpai though, which is kind of sick. They called Ricci. Wait, I want to see what you were smoking by calling Ricci after I called Ricci, dude. Why would you call Ricci here? What did you draw? What did you draw here? You drew an 8. So now you're waiting on a 3 pair or a 7 pair. Are you nuts? I mean, there's only 2 tiles left. Those are good tiles. And like, of course, you have 2 of them each, right? So the 7s are dead. And the 3s are also dead. Yeah, you have no chance of winning. I wouldn't have called Ricci there. I would have just been happy coasting my way into Tenpai within the exhaustive draw. Okay, next round. Does anything terrible happen? What happens here? Should I have discarded? Yeah, okay. Right. If you want to see, tell me you're going for a half flush in the character suit without telling me you're going for a half flush in the character suit. These reads are immaculate, dude. Okay. Nothing scary yet. Okay, something scary has happened. What has happened that is scary? So someone has entered Tenpai. Okay, interesting. The player to my left is in Tenpai. Are they? Wait, am I in Tenpai? No, the player to my right is in Tenpai with a 4-5 weight. Okay, interesting. They discarded a 5 there. Really spooky. Really spooky. I discarded a 1 here because I think I wanted to bail, right? I mean, the 1 is still a relatively safe tile to discard. Discarded a 4, okay. They discarded another 5. That's nuts. They're going for all triplets here. So greedy, dude. What if the player to my right had discarded a 4? Wouldn't you have wanted to cheat that and keep your options open? Oh my god. Okay, now people are in Tenpai. Holy moly. What are you waiting on? You're waiting on a 3 or an 8 of bamboo. That's not terrible. That's not terrible. The 3 of circles is now so dangerous. It deals into a double Ron. Okay, they pawned this, right? The Southwind. Okay. The 6 of characters is so dangerous to discard, dude. They're going for something in the character suit. Although you could assume that because they discarded the 2 5 tiles, they're not doing something nuts there. We definitely folded there, right? We definitely folded. God, I'm so proud of myself for not discarding this 1. I know it was safe in retrospect, but like, they're doing some weird shenanigans here. Conned. A little con academy for you. Discarding the Dora. Wow, it didn't work out for them. I forgot that they kind of started in the Shadow Realm this game. Damn. They dealt into a Baimon. Right. Oh my god. Wait, hang on. Just I need to take a look because I don't think there was anything in that last round. Yeah. What could have signaled that this person has a monster's hand? Nothing, right? Their discards are still pretty tranquil. They're getting some spiciness here with the 6 and the 7. I cannot. This is the luckiest con of all time. It revealed a new Dora indicator, and then they win immediately after. Oh my god, that's brutal. That's brutal. What happens here? I feel like we were in here. The player to my left called Ricci. What are they waiting for? The 1 and the 4 of bamboo. Interesting. It's not terrible. I didn't deal into it. The player to my right dealt into it. Right. Okay. Don't think there was anything just super suspicious there. That's like a baby hand. I'm looking around. Don't see anything super nuts. Okay. We deal in. Somehow we end up losing around here. Somehow we end up losing. They called Ricci on the 3rd or the 4th discard. What are they waiting for? They're waiting for a 4 or a 7 of characters. Do we really deal into this? They Tsumod. There's nothing that we could do about that. Players to my left and my right, I'm pretty sure we're folding. Yeah, okay. And they got an Oradora. That's pretty lucky. That's pretty lucky. Okay. I'm pretty sure if they didn't get that Oradora, it would have just been a 12,000 point hand. Or maybe it would have still been more than that. But anyway, that's still really, really lucky. Did something bad happen here? What's the Dora? We have 2 Dora here. Right. We have a great hand. Do I push for this? We have an amazing hand. Yep, we pushed here, right? I know it's scary. But we have 3 door in our hand. We have 4 door in our hand with the green dragon. Yeah, dude, any person in their right mind would want to do this. Would want to discard the 1 here. There's only 3 of them have been discarded. I am so fine with my decision making here. Because even if we had discarded the 4, we would have still dealt in, right? That's just unbelievably bad luck. And I'm still genuinely proud of myself that we pushed for this. I'm still fine with this. Yeah, okay. And then the rest of the game was just kind of like whack, right? I mean, like, after that, I mean, it was really tough. But the player to my right ended up dealing in. How did this happen? They called Ricci. So did anything bad happen this round? So from the looks of our hand, we completely folded. Right. I remember doing that several times. The person to my right has a 3 door hand. Oh my god. What are you waiting for? Dude, this is a situation where I would not have called Ricci. You're waiting on the 3 of characters, right? To win, that's your only win condition. You also have an all simples hand, dude. Not only that, you have a 3 door all simples hand. Why would you want to give anyone a reason to play defensively? Have them play offensively. That's a sick draw. So now you discard the 6. If you hadn't Ricci'd, right? Oh, they Ricci'd because the last discard was a 3 of characters. They Ricci'd because they might have thought that someone else was going to get confused. We fold here on the West Winds. I don't think that's a terrible decision. The player across from me has the makings of a all outside hand. Right. So, I mean, it's fine. If the player across from me isn't really careful, they could end up pushing into a monster hand. 1-1, 6, 7, 8, 9, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this person is now waiting on a Pinfu hand. See, this is what I mean. You don't have to call Ricci. You're waiting on a 5. Oh, wait. You're waiting on a 7. You're just waiting on a 7 or a 4. Okay, you're waiting on a 4 or 7. Okay, so things are getting really, really spicy here. What happens here? Nothing, right? Yeah, the 3 of characters, I'm so happy I didn't discard that, dude. Because it's like, oh, did this person discard it before or after they called Ricci? It was before. Be careful, my guy. And then they deal into, a full outside hand. I mean, it would have been tough reading that they had a full outside hand based on their discards. I mean, they discarded a 5 early on. Maybe that's all the information that we needed to know, you know? Okay, does anything bad happen in this? Someone's in Tenpai. The player to my right is in Tenpai for a 1 of 4 of characters. And we can tell that they're in Tenpai because they're down horrendous right now. They're discarding 5 of characters. Anyone else in Tenpai? No, just me? Okay. Or just the player to my right? That's fine. I'm clicking as fast as I can. I wonder who ends up winning this. Again, not a lot of people in Tenpai. Still people with like just errant safe tiles. They sumoed on the Dora. Okay. Yeah, that's just kind of a bummer. There's nothing that we could have really done. We played defensively. I mean, maybe we could have pushed. We did push. We ended up in, we were in Tenpai right now. Not only that, we called to end up in Tenpai. I still don't think that my play was that bad there. I really stand by it. Someone's in Tenpai already? It's me. I'm in Tenpai already. I called Ricci. Okay, fine. And I won this one. Right. Really inconspicuous hand. We're very lucky in that we got 1 Oradora. That's very valuable for us. Nice. Keeps us in the game for sure. Keeps us hungry. Keeps us relevant. And now the player across from us goes on a tear, right? What happens here? Anything suspicious? So they discarded a ton of character tiles. They're not even going for a flush. They're just going for the fastest hand possible. They discarded a 5 there. They are 1 tile away from winning, right? On the 3 of bamboo. Right. Now I'm also 1 tile away from winning. Do I push here? This is a half outside hand. The player to my left called Ricci. Right, we pivot here. We're like, we can still have a half outside hand. But then we drew the 5 of circles. Would this have been safe to play in retrospect? It is safe to play in retrospect, but I'm still glad that I didn't. I don't know. Was there a way to read that this would have been a fine discard? I don't think so. It's just too dangerous. It's the door tile, man. We haven't even seen a single 6 because they're all waiting in the player to my right's hand. Okay, they're not even discarding the 8. They're playing it really safe too. Okay, white dragon. Who ends up winning this one? They sumo. Right. Okay, that's fine. Just a really simple baby hand, but you also get the Ricci stick. That's not terrible at all. I would take that deal in a heartbeat. Okay. What happens in this one? Right. So they are going for the worst case scenario is that they're going for an all triplets hand. Now I want to see what happens after they call pawn here. I'm like all triplets, right? So what do I discard? Tell me it was something good. It was the 8. Yup. What was I deciding between the 5 and the 3 too? I'm not sure. There was also this that we could have discarded. But none of them have been discarded yet. I mean, they discarded a 1 too, so it was probably safe, but still, I'm glad that we played it safe there. The player to my right, I feel really bad for them. They got the blessing of garbage in their opening hand. The player to my left is also pushing. Wow. Because they don't want to discard their Dora. The way to advance their hand is to discard the Dora, but they're watching the dealer and they're like they're folding. In effect, they're folding because they don't want to get rid of the Dora. Nice. Really cool defensive play, right? And then you don't discard the Southwind there just because it's really risky. But like also if you want any semblance of winning, like it feels so bad to fold there, right? While your hand's still literally full of garbage. It feels so bad to fold there. But if someone has an all triplets hand, like try to play tiles that have already been discarded or tiles that you have 2 of because it's extremely unlikely that they have the other 2, right? What happens in this one? The player just across from me just keeps winning, right? They called a 1, 2, 3 early, and yeah, these discards scream half outside hand or mixed triple sequence. In this case, both. Tell me they win? No way, right? Someone else is in Tenpai right now. Is it me? It's me. I was waiting on the 3, 6, and 4, right? Yeah, I was waiting on 3, 6, 4. Honestly, pretty unlucky that they didn't come out or that we just didn't draw them. Where are the 3s? The 6s are 2 of them have been discarded. 3, 2 of them are in the hand, and then the 4, 3 of them are in the hand. So okay, that's pretty bad luck. I don't regret my decisions, and then they sumoed, right? There's nothing we can really do about that. Under the Sea is just nuts. That's when you're like, that's an anime mic drop moment. This video has gotten way too, it's an hour long. I have a haircut that I'm now late for. Okay. Does anything happen in this one? It's an exhaustive draw? No, they deal in on the last tile because they were in Ricci. That's brutal. Yep. Okay. And then they get sucked to death. It's me, I'm back. All right, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, again, thumbs up and subscribe. It helps out a lot. If you want to come hang out while we're streaming Mahjong, we stream it every Monday at 4 p.m. PST. So I hope to see you there. Not in my ranked games, please. Not in my ranked games. Or if you are in my ranked games, please let me win. I've been a good boy all year, and I haven't said anything mean. And I hope that you'll let me win. Okay, my name's Yusung. Until next time, please take care of yourself. Make sure to drink a lot of water. Be kind and patient to yourself. And I'll see you next time, okay? Big stretch, big stretch. All right, peace.